Welcome, Galactic family. May the divine graces always be with you, my brothers of Shan. It is always a pleasure and an honor to contact them in such a pleasant and friendly way. My dear ones, I want to say a few words to you in order to bring you greater clarity and insight into the communications we bring you. We have already mentioned that it is praiseworthy of you to wish to keep in touch with us and to seek our presence with you, which we reaffirm to you if it occurs, and occurs at all times, even in situations that you would not even imagine. We are there with you. We are with you more present than you would understand, and this happens to IANS, because we are really interested in your advancement and ascension, because we love you, because you are our brothers. We have manifested in gratuity our sincere and dedicated assistance to all, and from multiple sources we communicate with you, always bringing information that concerns your needs. But what we observe is that sometimes you are curious to know more about our planets, our technology and form of life, which is praiseworthy on your part, but we do not inform you at the speed that you would wish, since it would not benefit them that you lack. Rationalize, my dear brothers of Shan, and realize that very little would solve them to clarify curiosities of this type, being that what you need is to know more about your system and especially about your own sacredness, so that even more beautifully you have already begun to do it through awareness of who you really are, that you are divine beings. We have all of us from the most diverse stellar origins, tempted to stimulate you to transcend your consciousness by obtaining a greater expansion of it, avoiding to see what we say in a linear way, but there are still those who try to reach this situation under human logic and intend to arrest our individualities under their intellectuality by throwing at us enigmas, words, and questions that seem to them magnanimous under three-dimensional ethics. And in fact they believe they are using tricks to reveal the spirit with questions that represent the limitation of three-dimensional understanding. Kriyan has already told you about this. Oh dear ones! Do not be so linear, try to observe the information we bring you in a multidimensional way as you are, because this momentary reality in which you find yourself in 3D, does not delimit your capacity for spiritual attainment, and so little ours, because we are all of us and you, divine. My dearest ones, not even the greatest of your thinkers as a holder of immense intellectuality could reason beyond your own field if you tried to define in a human way the realities that exist beyond the three-dimensional veil. This spiritual reality carries divine potentials that already existed even before the earth was formed. So how could you understand it in a linear fashion? We, your stellar brethren, are always trying to bring you this reality, and this is not yet a tenth of your capacity to absorb it, but it must be brought to you in a lovingly adequate way to your condition of apprehension, because if we bring it all at once your psyche would collapse and you would not support and cover such a magnitude. If by time we bring you the most basic information and you sometimes still do not apprehend them, imagine if we brought them in fullness. We do not want to cause them such embarrassment. We want to help them understand their own sacredness. We cannot and should not interrupt your evolution by answering to them sometimes personal questions of situations that are under your competence to solve. Our information serves you individually in your ascension journey, but its scope goes far beyond. It is for the reach of all humanity and not only for individuals in particular. Therefore do not try to hold the spirit to three-dimensional linearity, because sometimes we observe them thinking, I have now sent you this enigma and I will get it. Oh, not my dear ones. I know who is reading this message, I know you. Love laughs. The only thing you could get out of this would be your own prison under linearity. So deconstruct this paradox and become truly multidimensional thinkers by expanding your minds beyond, when you will truly attain your true potential in sacredness and angelitude. Do not be disappointed if your curiosity in intimate matters is not solved, and do not try to manipulate in any way your beloved channeling brothers in this way, because you would be blocking your own evolution and seeing in these beings answers that you yourselves already have. The mission of the channelers is to serve lovingly spiritual channels, intermingling messages concerning the evolution of your beautiful planet, and not to clarify questions of personal resolution that you are able to solve. It is not wrong, my beloved Buscard, support with your more experienced brothers, so it is not wrong to share knowledge. I do not tell you these wonderful exchanges. I speak to you here of those among you who believe that what belongs to you to resolve can come from outside of you as ready answers without making any sincere effort, and if this does not happen, then they think that all decent and dedicated work is ineffective and deceptive because does not satisfy his egoic vision. There are no judgments here, my dear ones, there is only the deep love of your brother willing to provide clarity in your understanding with a sincere desire to awaken them to your own self-illuminating potential. Seek the spiritual light of what we tell you, my dear ones, and know that the more you expand your minds, the more easily you will maintain intercourse with us, since we are not attached to a single being and do not belong to this or that channel of channeling. We only join these due to vibrational affinity that we emanate in the same way. But all those who are on the same frequency will also be able to communicate with us. We have already told you that we are thinking of you, and that if you lovingly call us under these frequencies, we will be at your side. For this reason, I dedicate my dedicated ones to try not to judge linearly what escapes the said standards of human intellectuality. Get out of these paradigms of the old energy and seek spiritual expansion, because you would not really understand divine potentials under third-dimensional analysis. You are more, my loved ones. You are multidimensional beings, beautiful angelic and divine beings capable of accomplishing much more than the meager human understandings try to limit them. Always remember your beautiful sacredness, because when you fully understand the potential you have, then you will lift much higher flights towards the magnificent light you carry within yourself. You already walk to the beauty of the new earth. Do not let yourself be guided by limiting beliefs, and be the ones you have been waiting for. For I tell you that you are. I am Alcana of Andromeda. I love you deeply. I know you much more than you suppose, and I want to see you ever more recognizing the divine greatness that you carry. In this way I leave upon you the infinite graces of the great God, Goddess, Spirit, and all my sincere affection.